So this week we're reviewing the Coen Brothers film Miller's Crossing, which is a 1930s gangster movie about Irish gangsters starring Albert Finney and Gabriel Byrne. It's a film that I have to say is one of my favourite Coen Brothers movies. Now, it's not my favourite of all of their films. I think that title, it still belongs to The Big Lebowski. The reason being is, in terms of style, it's not 100% consistent. Now, I'll get onto that in a second, but the plot basically follows Leo, who is a crime boss, and his right-hand man, Tom, get into a dispute over a woman, and basically Tom starts to question his loyalty to Leo, etc, etc, and meanwhile there's a rival gang trying to take over the city. That's the very basic plot of the film. And what I have to say about this, what I absolutely love about this movie is the fact it's absolutely beautiful to look at. It really does feel like a classic gangster movie that you would mention in the same sentence as The Godfather and Road to Perdition. Road to Perdition is another film very similar to this that I really love. Now, not only does it manage to be an entry into this genre, but it still keeps the Coen Brothers' kind of quirky, almost idiosyncratic sensibility to the film, and the way they present characters and situations is very unique to their movies, and it's very much apparent in this film. There's almost a comedic edge, and not only that, but situations that people get themselves into are so normal that can be nothing other than hilarious, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, it's really difficult to explain, but watching the movie you'll probably understand what I mean. Now, what I meant earlier when I said that the style of this movie isn't 100% consistent is that there are splashes of ultra-violence in this film. One of which involving, is it Joe Polito, who plays a rival gang leader? Flashes of ultra-violence that feel almost comic booky, the way they're framed and shot. Like the camera will, you'll suddenly get a Dutch tilt zoom in on a character's face, and it's almost cartoon-like, and it's kind of, it threw me out a couple of times. I found it quite difficult to wrap my head around the styles suddenly changing so much. But for the most part, for 95% of the film, it is lensed and framed like a classic gangster movie, which I absolutely love. It is beautiful to look at. Performances across the board are really good, and it reminds me watching this film why Gabriel Byrne is such a good actor. I really do love his performance in this. I think he brings a very kind of human, relatable angle to a character who could have otherwise been very kind of cold and you might not have liked, but Gabriel Byrne manages to make him quite likeable, so that was pretty cool. The score is also fantastic by the Coen Brothers' favourite composer, Carter Burwell. I've loved pretty much all of the scores he's done for the Coen Brothers, and it goes to show that he really is a sure thing. Whenever they use him to do the score for one of their films, you know that you're in for a treat, so that was good. Basically, I have nothing but good things to say about this movie. It really is fantastic, and also what was kind of refreshing for a film like this, it's under 2 hours long. Now that, probably sounds a bit random for me to say that, but a film like this, usually you're looking at 2.5, 3 hours for other filmmakers to tell this story, and this one, it feels condensed, it feels tightly packed, the script is very good, the dialogue's very authentic to the period in which it's set, and it's got a very good pace. At no point does the film drag, and it feels like everything that's in there is necessary. You couldn't cut anything out of it, but it comes in at a lean, mean kind of 110 minutes. So I really did enjoy it for its length. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It is a very good, tight, well-rounded film with brilliant acting, brilliant script, brilliant score, brilliant directing. It only falls short in its sudden leap to a different style, and it only happens a couple of times in the film. but that was enough to actually bring me out of the film, and I actually found it quite jarring. The standout moment is one that I think Sam mentioned, where Albert Finney has a Tommy gun fight in his pyjamas, which I thought was so well done, and it kind of reminded me, in terms of style, it reminded me of No Country for Old Men, and the kind of pursuit between Anton Chigurh and Llewellyn Moss in that film. It had that kind of harsh edge to it, but it also had a bit of black humour injected in, so I do love this movie. It's one of the Coen brothers' best. I don't think it is their best film, but it's definitely probably in the top 5. It comes highly recommended from me. I love Miller's Crossing, and to be honest, I'm really interested to see what everybody else on this channel says about it. So yeah, that's Miller's Crossing.